And so, a very good morning to you, my dear friends, Grenada and the rest of the world. Today happens to be the 30th day of July 2019. Folks, just one day left. Make the most of it. Welcome to what's today? Tuesday edition of Gudday Grenada. I do expect that momentarily I'll see you guys start popping up your faces there on the forum. And I just want to remind you, if you happen to miss any of this morning's program, please remember, once it's over, which is usually, we try to end at 10 o'clock. Sometimes we go a little bit over. Sometimes we go well over. Half an hour, huh? Yeah. But in the event that you can't make it, you can also have a look in the first 5 minutes or so following the conclusion of the program. So by 10:05 or so, you should be able to see it. We do hope, too, that you will share it with your friends and family and colleagues out there, and let them know that it's worth spending some time with us. Yeah, here they come. Desiree Cox is first up this morning. Okay, Desiree, you get the prize this morning for being the first, and she just nosed out Anthea Rello. Anthea, so good to see you, girl. Thanks for coming. When are you coming back to Grenada? Huh? Plan on popping in? Let's take a look. Oh, Kipling's also there. So Desiree is saying good morning. Anthea is saying morning, morning. Kipling Francis is sending God's blessings. And Kipling is also doing what I just asked you to do, which is to share the program. Hope you will. Folks, this morning, we are going to share with you, to begin, a statement from the Chief Executive Officer of Mount Pure. Remember that brouhaha which has been around for the past couple of weeks about what happened down at the office of the Spice Mass Corporation? Well. Seems like the CEO is reaching out. It's a very interesting piece which they published on their website yesterday. And I thought I should share this with you. Making amends, hopefully. I want you to listen to it very carefully and share your comments with me. Let me have your thoughts about it, okay? I'll try to see if I can get most of those thoughts in before we get to the national report, which, by the way, we also do have for you this morning from the GIS. And then, my dear friends, Ray is going to be with us, but Ray is going to be joining us electronically this morning. He's not going to be coming in sitting here, so Georgie Porgy is all alone this morning, kind of lonely sitting in here this morning, but hey, I can get by. I know that you guys are out there, so I'm really not alone. And by the way, I see that we have now been joined by Margaret A. Maggs. Hola! Desiree Cox is saying, oh boy. Oswald Darbo is, he's in real good mood this morning. Mr. Darbo is sending you a very special good morning from Mr. Darbo. Bailey, it's always so good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. Please keep spreading the word around. So, we have told you what this morning's rundown is going to be all about. And I have not spoken with Ray, so I don't know exactly what he's going to be talking about this morning, but we'll wait and see. Now, let's get to that statement that was issued by the Chief Executive Officer of Mount Pure. What you're about to hear is a quote. The recent weeks have been a roller coaster Many rumors have been going around social media. I have held my tongue up to this point, but now I'm going to speak. At the outset, I must do the mature thing and publicly acknowledge that the situation at the SMC headquarters could have been handled better. There is no doubt there. I allowed my passion and emotion and desire to create more jobs to get the upper hand. The SMC's CEO, Mr. Jacob, could also have been calmer and more level-headed, and could have dealt with the matter more diplomatically. However, I understand what it is like to manage something as big as Carnival. It can have you on edge. Mr. Jacob, I hope that we can organize a meeting in the coming week to publicly resolve any lingering resentment that we may have for each other. I am a woman who believes in forgiveness and righting wrongs. I know the time is ripe to deliver a very special spice mass. I just want you to know that I am willing to meet and make peace. I will not be pressing any charges, and I don't want you to lose your job. You have had an excellent start, and we need to wipe the slate clean. We have to stay focused on the mission to create a better Grenada. I remember being in England at an event where our Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, spoke. He said something that resonated with me. Dr. Mitchell said he doesn't care whether people are NNP or NDC. His main concern is to build Grenada. To do this, we must all work together as one people. Those simple words reinforced my desire to invest my time and money in my country and to play my role in building a brighter and more prosperous Grenada for the generations to come. This is what Mount Pure is about. The present dispute is bigger than Spice Mass and selling a few bottles of water during Carnival. Our team at Mount Pure analyzed the economic year of Grenada and recognized that Carnival is a time when our country booms. We decided to use this period to double our shifts and provide some additional jobs to the many people of Grenada who are unemployed. When we sent out our advertisement announcing that we were hiring, we received over 2,000 applications. So this situation with SMC affects working Grenadians. People were at home awaiting a call to report to work. Mothers were banking on the opportunity to earn an income to send their children back to school. Women hoped for a double shift to make extra cash to fix the leaking roofs. These things trouble me. And at the same time, I am determined to work harder to create more jobs for my people. The court matter is not just about Mount Pure. It is about giving everyone a fair shot at earning a piece of the pie. We just want to know that bidding and tendering is open to all and is equitable and transparent. At present, do you know that every year Grenada imports millions of dollars worth of water? Even when there are 4 very good water companies here on the island. I support all the Grenadian water companies working together to create more jobs and to effectively supply the entire island. Water is essential to life, and the demand for it will always be there. If our brothers and sisters at Glenelg, Poli, and Blue are open to it, we at Mount Pure are ready and willing to engage in talks, plans, and actions to jointly step up our water production and increase our standards of operation. This would help to reduce the millions of dollars that we all presently spend on water from outside of Grenada. Even though we have local water like Mount Pure, which was recently placed 3rd in the premier international water competition. In closing, I want to say that I am fully on board with Dr. Mitchell's vision for building a better Grenada, and Mount Pure intends to play a big part in this process. I want to wish everyone a fantastic Spice Mass 2019. As you have fun and enjoy yourselves in the Mass, please be responsible, be respectful, be safe, be your brother's keeper, and most importantly, stay hydrated. God bless you all. Signed, Rolanda McQueen, who is Mount Pure's Chief Executive Officer. All right, now, let me see if you guys have had time to put together some responses. Benedict Cador is sending you a terrific Tuesday. Donna Joseph saying good morning. Peter Bishop saying good morning. Fitzroy Adams, good morning, Mr. Grant. We're happy to be here once more. Educating ourselves is the best road to success. Oh, thank you, Fitzroy. Thank you for making it possible. Grenada Sunshine says, good morning, my wonderful people. Ooh, would you? Okay. Benedict Cador says, good for the apology. The people of Grenada deserve it. But I smell a rat somewhere in there. Objective achieved. Okay. Kipling Francis says, it's sad. His vision is so far from his actions. I guess he's responding to what Ms. McQueen said about the Prime Minister. Okay. Well, it looks like those are just a few comments so far from you folks. Let me take a look here and see something. Yeah, a number of you there. I guess we're going to be hearing from you guys while you watch the National Report. So let's take our first little break and just you watch. As soon as I go into the break, the comments are going to start coming in. Just you watch. Okay, but let me take our first little break and then we'll, I got something else I want to share with you. This came in just a few minutes ago from the Met Office. Finally, heard from the Met Office. They say a tropical wave accompanied by a broad low-pressure system is producing a large area of cloudiness and disorganized shower activity over the far eastern tropical Atlantic, a few hundred miles south of the Cape Verde Islands. Upper-level winds are expected to be unfavorable for any significant development of the disturbance during the next few days. However, environmental conditions are forecast to become a little more conducive for development over the weekend, and the formation chance through the next 48 hours is low, near 0%. While this system currently poses no direct threat to Grenada and its dependencies, the Met Office will continue to monitor the system. Okie doke, okie doke. Just glancing back here at Facebook for just a minute. Margaret says, it takes a certain level of maturity to pen such an open letter. Margaret, I know you're absolutely right. I thought the same way. And, when I read that last night and compared that to the actions I saw down at Spice Mass, I thought, this lady's taking the high road, and she's on the right track. So, Ms. McQueen and Mount Pure, best wishes, and I join these folks here in expressing admiration for your fortitude. John says, good morning, Gigi. My friend told me about that tropical wave yesterday, and he lives in Canada. Yeah, it's so interesting. We had a system come by here just a couple of days ago. Never heard a beep from the Met Office. In all fairness, somebody, and not NADMA never sent anything to me, but somebody sent me a note that they had received from NADMA saying that this system could dump a lot of rain on us over the past couple of days. As you saw, that really didn't materialize. However, the system came through these islands and has taken off over the Caribbean Sea. And apparently there has been some development in it. Well, guess what? That's when I received something from the Met Office saying, oh, the system that was over here a couple of days ago is now dunka. Yeah. Let's see here. Anthony DeRiggs says, good morning, everyone. A comment about oil. Guyana is moving full speed ahead with their oil exploration. Any update on Grenada's oil? Anthony, who are you kidding? No, I haven't seen any updates. Desiree Cox says, this apology is not sincere. The blame game is being laid somewhere between. The blame game is being laid somewhere else. It's one thing to apologize and another thing to accept responsibility. Grenada Sunshine says, when they go low, we go high. Where have I heard that before? Margaret Francis says, someone did send me a release from NADMA re the system. In fact, I got it the night before I left. Hey, Mags. Yeah, got the system. And NADMA in their report, their advisory or whatever you care to call it, said, we were advised by the Met Office. I guess the Met Office couldn't find email addresses, so they gave it to NADMA to get it out. Okay, break time, folks, and we'll be back.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply departments and Food Fair supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's Hardware, Foodfare Supermarkets, and the Grenadian General Insurance, an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan. Mr. Watts, wait. Why are you removing my sign?
Sorry, Larry, but you can't put the sign on an electricity pole. That is an accident waiting to happen.
Mr. Watts, man, I just finished this new house. I need to put up a sign so that people would know that the apartment is for rent. Why can't I put my sign on the pole?
Larry, you should know better. Think about it. Nails, staples, glue and signs make it difficult for linesmen to quickly and safely climb poles, and it can delay their response time when there is an emergency. These objects can prevent linesmen responding as quickly as they should in an emergency.
You know, I've never thought about those things. But you're absolutely right.
On top of that, Larry, your sign was covering the pole identification number. What if someone needed to report a fault? The pole number tells Grenlec exactly where the problem is and allows them to respond faster.
Whoa, I really didn't consider all these things, you know. Come, let me help you take this down.
Remember, be safe, be smart. No more signs, banners, or posters on electricity poles.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Studying too hard about back-to-school expenses? Co-op Bank is making back to school as easy as 1, 2, 3. Enjoy competitive interest rates, affordable monthly payments, speedy decisions on applications. Come in and apply today.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grenans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep,
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Cabinet agrees to grant amnesty to workers who do not possess the requisite documents. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the details to the news from Monday, July 29, 2019, I am Sherry Noel. Non-nationals working in Grenada are being given an opportunity to regularize their status by August 31st. Cabinet has agreed to a proposal submitted by the Ministry of Labour to grant amnesty to individuals who have been working in the country without required documents.
Some have come into the country on vacation and then they decided to work. Some of them came, had work permits expired, and they continue to work without the work permit. Now, as the law is currently, they can be deported, they can be charged. There are several options that the government has. The government has chosen to pursue a path which allows them to regularize their position through an amnesty to those who are coming in, who are working, so that they can come in and regularize. The reason we're doing that is twofold. One is to ensure that we give people an opportunity. There are really some honest people outside there who just maybe couldn't afford, maybe didn't think about doing it, maybe they didn't understand the law. For several reasons, some person continue to work without the requisite work permits. What we have decided to do is to grant an amnesty which allows them to come in, regularize their position, make the payments as required by the Ministry of Labor and by the Immigration Department.
Labor Minister Honorable Peter David. He says once their status is regularized, they will no longer live in fear of the consequences of working illegally. Labor Commissioner Cyrus Griffith says there are a number of non-nationals who have not regularized their status according to law.
And when I say regularized, immigration status is an issue and work permit, right? Obviously, if you have to work in a country, one has to work. They should have a permit proper documentation to work. So some of these individuals, they doesn't have work permits and the immigration status is not regularized. So the amnesty, as the minister pointed out earlier, we're giving them amnesty to come in and get themselves sorted out properly. So we have given them this window, which ends at the end of August, to come in, register and say we have been here for this period of time, we don't have proper documentation, and we want to get ourselves regularized. So the office will interview these individuals, give them necessary information, take necessary information from them, and then we'll get them sorted. So they have until the end of August 2019 to get themselves regularized.
He says there are consequences if non-nationals do not take advantage of this window opportunity.
Barring that, then the Immigration and Labor will go out into the field, as we are accustomed doing, and look for these individuals based on the stats that we get from immigration and the information we have here in the ministry, to look for these individuals and apparently do something so that we can get them sorted one way or the other.
The Labor Commissioner says a work permit is valid for 1 year in the first instance, which is renewable based on law. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, National Security, Public Administration, Physical Development, Home Affairs and ICT, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, will facilitate this week's post-cabinet press briefing. The Prime Minister is expected to provide some insight into the mid-year economic review, an update on assistance provided for the unemployed and low-income earners through government social programs, and maintaining law and order during the carnival season. Dr. Mitchell will also pay tribute to the late Dr. Winston Thomas, who served for more than 20 years in the healthcare sector in Grenada. The post-cabinet press briefing begins at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, July 30th, 2019. Work will soon commence on the Government of Grenada and the OPEC Fund for International Development St. Patrick Road Upgrade Project. The sod was turned on Friday. The St. Patrick project is part of 24 other projects that were approved by Cabinet in April 2019. 6.8 kilometers of road will be rehabilitated between Duquesne and Sautez, and 8.2 kilometers from Pointsfield to Monfendu will be extended. The project will include construction of culverts, drains, retaining walls, and concrete reinforced sidewalks. Project manager of DWE Consult, Dr. Brent Bailey, says CCC has been awarded the contract to the tune of US $8.3 million.
The scope of works commences at the Pointsfield Bridge, and it extends for 3.7 kilometers. The road width is to be upgraded to an average width of 6 meters wide, with the particular corners and so forth to be upgraded to even greater widths to facilitate better flow of traffic from one point to the next. We intend as well to upgrade the box drains, various box drains, culverts, to a minimum width of 7.5 millimeter diameters.
Infrastructure Minister Honorable Gregory Bowen said Phase 1 of the project will cost EC $2.3 million. He's optimistic that with upgraded infrastructure, market access will improve and the productive sector and tourism will flourish.
These roads also provide access to the suppliers, to the agricultural sector, to bring workers from one point to the other. And you note that we have created a new route to ensure that the persons in the north of the country can move
to the job sites without having to take 2 and 3 buses. Infrastructure, yes, and also the reason for the infrastructure. You must know that the tourism sector, if you include the restaurants and so that, provides 23.6% to GDP. A lot comes from agriculture, a lot comes from tourism.
Parliamentary Representative Honorable Pamela Moses is elated that the road network in St. Patrick will finally get attention it deserves.
It means this project is really critical for us. Many people may have experienced the disappointment of trying to get to the other parish and have to turn back in this day and age. Folks, we are very happy today and we're very thankful for OFID for sticking it out with us. We really need this.
3 bridges will also be constructed under the project: Pointsfield Bridge, Hermitage South and Belmont. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8 to 12 for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Welcome back. The finalists have been decided, and now Calypso, Soca and Groovy artists await the final shows on the big stage next week. After being absent from the big stage for a number of years, Calypsonian Beast is back. He was one of the 9 finalists named following the Melody Papetet semi-final at Progress Park on Sunday. The other finalists who will challenge the reigning monarch, Scholar, for the title are Stunner, Candy, Baraka, Prince, Cox, Randy Isaac, Sour Serpent and Verlene Ned. Soca artists were in action Friday night, and now Little Natty and Thunder know who will challenge them on Fantastic Friday night. They are Dash, Inspector, Skull Dog, Terra the Governor, Rooney J, Little Kerry, Leadneck, Looney Spark and Electrify, Vaughn and Boise. The 2 first-timers that made it onto the big stage, Rooney J and Skull Dog, spoke of their performance and experience amongst the soca greats.
It's a blessing, you know. I feel very proud of myself, and I hope that I make everybody else out there proud as well. It's truly a blessing. This is my first time singing. This is my first year on the scene, 2019. Yeah, that's my first time on the scene.
Why did you decide to come out this time around?
Well, basically, I was not planning on singing, you know. It's like my friend Yakini Henry in Canada as now. Yeah, I used to be making my little shootings in the studio and on the side of the road. I used to be making my little freestyle. So yeah, but you know, he called me down in the studio and tell me now, come and do something on the 007 rhythm. So I just went down with the motivation from Little Jello and Young Mickey. I went to the studio and I do my thing.
Well, I'm very pleased with my performance. I left my heart on the stage here tonight, and I could see that the crowd was feeling my energy, and it was all good. You can expect great things. If you think you see anything in the semi-finals, that was just a smoke. You ain't see nothing yet.
And finally, Grenada has joined with the medical fraternity in mourning the loss of a man described as an exemplary public officer who dedicated many years of service to the people of Grenada through his medical practice. Dr. Winston Thomas died in Cuba over the weekend, where he was receiving medical treatment. Dr. Thomas was attached to the Accident and Emergency Department casualty of the General Hospital in St. George's, where he worked for over 20 years. Close friend Honorable Peter David remembered his friend as a man of service who placed the interests of others first.
We had an excellent relationship. I saw him off on a plane when he left for Havana to seek medical care. I was looking at the photographs last night and it tore me up. I can say this, that he's one of the best human beings I've ever known. He's one of the kindest human beings I've ever known. He's one of the most committed people I've ever known to any cause. And because of that, I believe that we've lost a great Grenadian, a patriot, somebody who doesn't speak loudly, doesn't have a big fanfare about anything. But the interactions with him by ordinary Grenadians, by persons who met him both as a doctor and as a political activist, all indicate a man who has impacted the lives of Grenadians in a way that few others have.
Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele, in paying tribute to Dr. Thomas, said, and I quote, "Today the General Hospital and by extension the Ministry of Health and the Grenadian public has lost a true servant, a patriot and a dear friend," unquote. Since the news broke of Dr. Thomas' passing, Minister David said phone calls have been coming in, and one of the things that resonated is how does one pay tribute to him for his exemplary service to Grenada.
I am going to suggest, and I hope that we can get it done, that we rename in fact, there's a new wing at the hospital being built, which includes the casualty department. We in the town of St. George, we have persons who have lived and fought with Dr. Thomas are going to make a proposal, not only on my behalf, but on behalf of the people around Dr. Thomas, his comrades, his friends, the people in the town of St. George, that the government renames or names that new wing, because it's not completed yet, the Dr. Winston Thomas Medical Facility or Casualty Division or whatever, but something that makes, you see, the significance of doing that is to ensure that the younger generation understands the contribution of people like Dr. Thomas.
The Government Information Service joins all of Grenada in extending deepest condolences to the family, members and friends of Dr. Winston Thomas. And with this, we come to the end of the National Report for Monday, July 29, 2019. I am Sherry-Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.
You know, I got to tell you this. Last night, when I received the national report, sat here watching it, you know, and I noticed Minister David, his posture during that first piece. And a thought just came to mind. I could bet that when I run this thing tomorrow morning, that's this morning, somebody is going to have something to say about Minister David's posture, the way he was seated in that chair. Grenada, me ain't no prophet, but so said, so done. I see a comment here. I see a comment here from Margaret. Margaret says, but what is this? Who put Peter to sit in that chair? That person should be tarred and feathered. Mags, come on down and do it yourself. Come on down and do it yourself. On a more serious, oh, by the way, Ray is all saddled up and ready to go. We're going to get to him in just half a sec. There's a note here from Anthony, which I think is really worth listening to. Anthony says, George, So far this year, 29 tropical waves have made their way across the Atlantic. I'm concerned about the very low latitudes they have been forming and moving across in recent times. Many passed over Trinidad, but thank heavens, they only caused some flooding. The Cape Verde season will soon be in full swing. Let us pray for the best. Anthony, absolutely right. And let me tell you, as we speak, there's a system that's just a little less than halfway across the Atlantic. And I saw that, and I'm keeping an eye on it. Haven't heard a word about it officially. And yes, there's the other system that came off the African coast yesterday, which you have heard about this morning. Anything else? Desiree Cox. Desiree, I'm reading this for the first time. Hope you did well. Desiree says it's all about salvaging her company and her image. She's referring to the statement from the Spice Mass CEO. I'm pretty darn sure Ray is going to have something to say about that. Violence against women is not tolerated, but unfortunately the situation was intentionally created. As business personnel, I guess she meant business personnel, both parties should have conducted themselves in a professional manner. Well, she admitted that. Let us set examples for our youths who are the future leaders of our country. Thanks a lot, Desiree. Now, I'll tell you what, instead of a break, I ain't going to keep Mr. Roberts waiting anymore, man. Let me bring Mr. Roberts in here right now. Good morning, Mr. Roberts.
Morning, George, and to all your viewers and listeners, wherever they may be. Good morning, my brother.
I see. You're looking good this morning. I can actually see your face. I can see the smile, the short hair all brushed back and everything. So, Ray, were you listening earlier on this morning when we did that piece from the Spice Mass CEO?
No, I might have been looking on, but I think I was looking at WhatsApp.
Oh, you were looking at what? I imagine you were pretty active on WhatsApp. Well, I guess you heard the news that the CEO has put out a statement in which she's saying that both her and the CEO could have handled things a little bit better. Agree?
Yes, certainly. I think maturity would have demanded that. The offices, they both hold, obviously demanded better.
Well,
both of them are in high offices.
Yeah.
I think we would expect them to be better.
Well, she was also explaining that, she might have been a little bit uptight because of her passion to create jobs and she also stressed the fact that she feels it's unfair to sort of limit people to the sales of our local water.
Well, she knows better than that. I mean, let's face it, World Cup cricket was here, and we know that a whole section of Queen's Park and St. George's were all given to sponsors because they were investing thousands of dollars into the event. And that's what it is around the world. Maybe it's not fair to her, but as far as I know, it's business. I'm not sure that I might want to see that, but I want to live with the reality of what is occurring. So really and truly, I don't know if she had any case. I mean, it's business. Who invests the most, perhaps, will get the best reward. It may not be the best thing for society, but that's the capitalist world we are in. Maybe politically we can change it.
Well, you're raising a very important point there because she said that she made it quite clear that she's not going to press charges against the Spice Mass CEO, which sparked a number of comments on Facebook over the past several hours. There are people who just feel that she was wrong. But I am happy to say this morning that she's also proven herself to be mature and come out. It's disappointing because I understand that the whole thing is over about $12,500. Apparently that's what Glenelg paid to get the exclusive rights $12,500. And somebody was making the point here to me just a couple of days ago, an attorney. He said, you know, when you stop and think about how much debt Spice Mass is in, to limit yourself to giving exclusive sponsorship to somebody for $12,500 when you could have been collecting a hell of a lot more.
Well, I wouldn't get into the nitty-gritty because I would assume the CEO is qualified to make judgment.
Right.
He would have a committee of directors to guide him, people who are familiar with numbers. But I agree with you, perhaps 12,500 might be chicken feed. So from a perception point of view, I don't know that that's a lot of money. But I still maintain that his behavior cannot be what is expected of anybody in that office.
Absolutely.
The woman might be wrong, but he certainly is a letdown to decency.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't excuse it at all.
Absolutely.
Because I would hate to go into the Prime Minister's office or your office and your secretary pushes me out down the step. And then because I was a little rude or being very rude. So George, I have absolutely no doubt about it. My conviction is he behaved in a terrible manner, a manner unbecoming of any manager.
So both parties were wrong. Okay. I'm not sure why John is asking this question, but John here is asking, does Ray have the sports channel on his TV 24/7?
Say that again?
John in Carriacou is asking, do you have the sports channel on your television 24/7?
No, that's impossible. I have to mix it up with everything. I'm not a fan of movie. I'm not big on movie. It had to be something real intriguing.
Yeah.
But generally, it's the sports channel, ESPN, Flow, whatever they are. Certainly the news and a bit of religion.
Okay.
I liked comedy once, but I'm not too sure that, you know, I see comedy that really attracts me as Archie Bunker. Not that I'm a approval of what his culture might have been then. The Jefferson's Trees Company, I found a lot of laughter in those activities.
Comedy has really deteriorated. I agree with you. And by the way, he's now saying it's in the background. What's happening? A little while ago, he was watching you and he saw your television set on. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to. Well, George, I meant to tell you this morning too that plenty sports around the world, despite what's happening here and the battles in various countries. Lots of sports happening. We have the Central American Games in Peru. Grenada is participating. We also have the Winter Island School Games that are taking place where? In Dominica. We also have the West Indies under 19 Cricket Championship in St. Vincent. And then there is this big contest between Australia and England in the Ashes series starting on Thursday. And just events that you can't ignore. I think in the Pan American Games, we all are excited because our javelin competitor, Anderson Peter, who threw 86.62 meters. It will be interesting to see if he can win the Pan American Games, which is perhaps second only to the World Championship in terms of ranking, and then the Olympics. If he does well there, I mean, he certainly would be a competitor that the world will be paying attention when the World Championship is held in Doha in September. So there are some, in a Grenada perspective and even a wider perspective, Caribbean perspective, we certainly have interest to see how our Caribbean athletes and other sports people are doing in a 16-day championship.
Listening to you, I get the...
I just want to make a plug for my friend Naka Fitzgerald Joseph. He has published a book, George, which I think you should get a copy of. It's pretty good, and your viewers also. It's The Energy of Guab, the history of the parish of St. John's in sports, dating back, George, even before you were born. So it's a lot of years, George. And I haven't read the whole thing yet. I'm going to sit back during the carnival because Carnival really is not my attraction anymore. too many naked people and, to me, atrocious behavior around town. So I'm not going to see any carnival, not even on television, because I'm going to be watching cricket. But I think it's a good book. It profiles, war from its early years right down to Kiran James. It's an excellent book, and I want to congratulate Naka, because not many of us in Grenada take time off, to reflect on history, where we come from, so generations that are to come will have a sense of where we were then and perhaps where we should be heading to.
Ray, I hope this doesn't come as too big a surprise to you, but I think it was last Thursday on We Chat, Naka was with us on the program. He spent quite a while with us on the program. And yes, his book aroused a lot of interest, a lot of interest. I understand that somebody out there in New York who I think might be listening right now, Anthony DeRiggs, was also very interested in that book. So yeah, I'm going to try and take a look at it.
Right. Well, I'm glad to know that you did what was expected of you and what I know you will do without even being asked, to give this gentleman a bit of media time so that the wider society could know about something good, something positive that many of us can benefit from.
Well, Ray, again, you know me already. I have to be perfectly honest. It was not George who invited Naka. It was Beverly. I don't know. Beverly probably knows this gentleman and thought he really deserved to be on the program, so she invited him. And to me, it was an honor, sitting here and listening to this guy. Not only is he articulate, but he's done a good job out there. It's got the attention of people.
Well, he's not about to retire. He's still very active, particularly in basketball. Has done an excellent job. I guess he would have given you a long list of people who have become better citizens as a result of the opportunities that came from basketball. Many of them have first and second degrees and doing well in the commercial world. So he has done a wonderful job.
Okay.
Perhaps unknown to many of us in the country, but maybe one of the hidden stars or one of the hidden workers who certainly got good results. So I am proud of his contribution to sports, not just in Goa, but Grenada and the OECS and the wider Caribbean.
Maybe somewhere down the road we'll actually have him come in. I would love to have him sit with you on one of these programs one of these days. So what else is up your sleeve this morning?
Well, just to say, George, I find the carnival season, last night I went to take a nap for the first time in a month, actually. And coming out from St. George's, I found it very, well, it was like a Sunday. Very, very dead, not much activity. I mean, it doesn't look like there's carnival, actually, if you want to base it on St. George's. And then remember, I'm driving down to the Great South. And a lot of cars moving back and forward, but, there is no particular place where you can say, look, it looked like that is a mass camp, or that is where you can begin to start enjoying carnival. To me, something is missing. I'm not too sure. Even at Cameron Park, there are quite a few people, but the number's not that great as, I would say, as a year or two ago. So maybe this week they are coming, or maybe they're home, or maybe they're in hotels, wherever they are, or they have found other places. But to me, Real Value had some people. Yes, they had some people. But I'm not seeing the numbers. And I may say, even the spirit of the carnival, as perhaps I thought I saw a year or two ago.
I had somebody sitting here yesterday morning, and he was telling me that Grenada is already flooded with visitors to the island. Now, I will say that, yes, I have seen a lot of you can spot these Grenadians when they come home, eh? The garb and the hair and the, you can spot them a mile off, and the phony accents and all of that, But I have not seen an awful lot, but yes, I'm seeing new faces on the streets, most definitely.
Well, the numbers certainly not showing up around as great as previous years. So, as I say, I know people can come within 24 hours. I had friends who turned up and spent 48 hours and go. So maybe they come in and they go in quickly. But, I mean, there's a young one who lives not far from me here and said to me this morning, she's playing in everything, but it's dead. And I'm talking about 25 or so years old.
Yeah.
So should know. And said to me, Mr. Roberts is dead. It's not really giving me the energy and the spirit that I normally look for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it will come along some point. I listened a little bit to some of the calypsos on, I saw it on Facebook or something like that. But George, again, I don't know. I know Margaret likes to talk a lot about writing, but maybe she should maybe join with others, Beverly and others, and help some of our artists, because really and truly, George, I mean, the lyrics, I don't know that make a lot of intelligent sense. Yeah, so I'm saying to you, George, that maybe there's work needed to be done for our artists.
You know, Ray, like you, I'm not a carnival person, and I'm looking forward to the couple of days to get some rest, okay? However, having said that, Ray, there's something I'm really kind of hyped up about, and that is the fact that apparently they have gone out and finally brought Ricardo Keynes Douglas in to choreograph the March Gras show.
Right.
From what I'm hearing, this is going to be a heck of a show, because I know that they're going to be giving lifetime awards to a couple of people, including our friend Cecil Belfond, the Flying Turkey. There are two people, I can't remember who the other guy is, but two people are receiving special awards, and Turkey is due to arrive here sometime next week. Can't wait to see him. And I think that's going to be good for the March Gras, because the March Gras, while it has the potential of being an incredible show, it has turned out to be...
George, it best be good, because the last few occasions, the numbers did not reflect when I was a younger person.
Yeah.
And when I worked in the media and covered the event, I think it looks like a dying event, actually. I think, without any doubt, the Soca Monarch looks like the one that is growing to the point where perhaps we need more space. To me, the March Gras look like something we need less space. So I would love to hear, well, I'm glad they're recognizing some people. But George, I want to express one concern about the way Grenada recognizes people. To me, there's not a lot of research put into what we do. To me, we just remember who we remember, not delving into, well, how the history of the thing evolved, and we just crown whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see us do a lot more work. Just like Naka, I have to go back to him again. The energy of Guav covers what? More than 70 years. In fact, as far as I understand, from since way back in the 1800s. So I'm saying that's the kind of work we need to see done in Grenada when we're talking about, recognizing people. Give a story, not just a brief something. Give something that we can maybe use in our educational system after a while.
Okay. All right, Ray.
Good.
Anything else you want to dump in there before we
Well,
go?
I want to wish you all the best. I'm going to miss Caracou Regatta for another season, for another year. I've not been there for quite a while.
Me too.
I know you part of it too. In fact, you were on a ship or a yacht, something like that.
For several years, we would go up there on a yacht and have a blast. But it's been quite a few years now since I last visited.
Yeah, I think I would have calculated, having seen it about 52 now. I would have seen about 30 something, because nobody wanted to go at first. So
Yeah.
I became an obvious suspect. But I must admit, in the last 5 years, I have not gone.
Yeah.
But I've kept in touch with some friends who still tell me they are there. Edwin Steele and quite a few others tell me they're still there doing their best. So Henry, not Edwin, Henry Steele. So I want to wish our friends in Caracou, and in particular those who are organizing what I think is a great festival, regatta, the very best, and certainly hope they get the result that they desire.
Listen to a comment here. Margaret ain't going to let you go without hitting you. Margaret says, I ain't no calypso writer. However, I think the reason why calypsos are so dismal is because people lack the substance to begin with. You can't put out what you didn't put in. If the system is producing functional illiterates, what do you expect?
I wanted to change it. Tell I change it, George. George, pick up the bell, George, and sign it to the top. You will help. Beverly will help. Get to work, Margaret.
Desiree Cox says, okay, actually, I'm going to read these comments after I say goodbye to you, Ray. Ray, thanks a lot, my friend. There are a number of comments that are still coming in about this statement that was issued by the Spice Mass CEO, and I want to share some of those with our listeners. So thanks a lot, my bro. You have a nice... Listen, you got a long weekend, right?
Yeah, it's a long weekend, I think.
Tuesday is not a holiday, though.
No.
Oh, man, if only. Take it easy, bro.
All right, George. See you. God bless.
All right, God bless you, too. All right, that's a buddy there, Ray Roberts. Now, let me scroll back here and tackle some of the statements that were made pertaining to this statement by the Spice Mass CEO. Benedict Cador says her letter is calculated. The words are there, but they do not sound genuine. I admit that putting that letter together is genuine. Margaret Francis says, is there anything wrong with trying to salvage her company? After all, she invested in it. In all fairness, shouldn't SMC have put out a request for bidders? If nothing else, it once exposed the corruption that pervades the society. Also, even if SMC gave exclusive rights to events within the stadium, how dare they try to control the public streets? What about the individual rights to choose in a public space? All I can say, Margs, right on, girl, right on. Fitzroy Adams is asking the question, Mr. Grant, is the company that was given the right to sell water a Grenada company? And Margaret responded by saying, yes, Glenelg, which was given sole rights, is a local company. Then John says, fiscal space is not allowing people to stay for a long period. Not quite sure what that has to do with it, John. Benedict Cador says, my humble interpretation of the apology letter. She makes it seem that she and the gentleman are or were always on the same page. She also makes it seem like KM is trying to achieve his so-called vision for the country. I ain't going there. Desiree Cox says, nothing is wrong with salvaging her company. As the CEO of a company, she should have conducted herself in a professional manner. Yes, she is exposing the corruption that exists in our society, but that was not the proper way to go about it. Both CEOs acted poorly, and accepting responsibility and not laying blame for her actions will be truly considered being mature and sincere. With a sincere apology, her company would be salvaged. And Margaret says, Margaret's responding to Ray, she says, nah, they don't want to hear from me. So, okay, folks, quick break. Quick break. And then Georgie Porgy's going to pull the plug.
GRENLEC Community Partnership Initiative.
This is not the first time that GRENLEC, through the GCPI, has responded positively to TAMCC, and we are always appreciative for the support. TAMCC, like the GCPI, is geared to service the community. As a college, we cannot accomplish our mission of fostering Grenada's development through education without meaningful partnerships from other community members. GRENLEC has been a leader in this regard.
GRENLEC, energizing our community.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Studying too hard about back to school expenses? Co-op Bank is making back to school as easy as 1, 2, 3. Enjoy competitive interest rates, affordable monthly payments, speedy decisions on applications. Come in and apply today.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
Mm-mm. I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who supporting the environment. That is why I shopping at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
All right, folks, just a couple quick comments here before I pull the curtain down. Emma Ventura says, Mount Pure Water to the world. Continue drinking the best tasting water on the island, Mount Pure. Emma, send me your email address and I'll send you my bill. Thanks a lot. And there's a comment here from somebody named Bull Williams. Bull says, thanks for keeping Grenadians overseas informed. Well, our pleasure, sir. And as long as you keep visiting, we'll be very happy and content. Now, pilgrims, we always wrap it up with a parting word from the Holy Scriptures. And I know, even before I start this, I know that some of you are going to jump all over me. But I want you to remember, as you listen to this, I, George Grant, did not write this. This is actually a quotation from the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 13, verses 15 to 17. Not George Grant. He believes it, but not George Grant wrote this. Okay? Let me quote. And do not forget to do good and to share with others. For such sacrifices, with such sacrifices, God is pleased. Have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account. Do this so that their work will be a joy, not a burden. For that would be of no benefit to you. Hebrews 13, verses 15, 16, and 17. Pilgrims, I understand why some of you may not have wanted to hear that. But it is the Word of God. Enough said. On that note, programs, Georgie Porgy is going to take off with thanks that you were able to join us this morning. And today is what, Tuesday? So we hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Wednesday edition, when we do expect that our girlfriend, Sharon Roberts, will be with us. In the meantime, may the good Lord bless and keep you. So long.